Hi everyone, welcome back to Coffee, Books, and Rain, where we talk about books. It's just what we do. We bring our coffee to the table, although I probably need a refill now. It's just down here in his little ghost skirts at this point, because I have been drinking it. We didn't bring the rain, that was Alabama's fault, but we definitely brought the books because we do always have books available. And we thank NetGalley for that. We thank our local Barnes & Noble and our local bookstores. Sometimes we even thank Thrift Books for books being available. I've got a couple over here, and we've got our new spooky vibes, which I'm very excited about. And today we are actually talking about a book that I just finished reading. Sorry, I'm combing my hair now that I put it onto this side of my head. We are talking about Haunt Sweet Home by Sarah Pinsker. Pinsker, sorry. I transposed the S and K and said, anyway, we're going to get it right. It's Pinsker. And this book was actually pretty fun. I wasn't really certain what I was going to get into, but the fact that it said Haunt Sweet Home and it was an audiobook that I got through NetGalley, I was pretty excited. It is not a long book. It was only about 3.5 hours in my audiobook, so I listened to it in a single day. And it does release September 3rd, which should be the day I'm releasing this episode. So, looking forward to doing that for you guys. It does say in my NetGalley, or not my NetGalley, my Goodreads, that it is only about 176 pages. It is considered a novella. It is paranormal, fantasy, and fiction. But like I said, I got the audiobook through my NetGalley account, and it was actually pretty fun because it had multiple voices, so it had multiple individuals narrating various parts, and I thought it was done pretty well. Now, let me dive into the premise for you guys before I kind of tell you a little bit about the story. On the set of a kitschy reality TV show, staged scares transform into unnerving reality in this spooky ghost story from multiple Hugo and Nebula award-winning author Sarah Pinsker. I think I said Pinsky. I don't know. I am so bad. I should probably be banned from saying people's names. I should also probably practice much more. I'm so very sorry. Don't talk today about what we do at night. That's a quote from the book. When aimless 20-something Maura lands a job as the night shift production assistant to her cousin's ghost hunting home makeover reality TV show Haunt Sweet Home, she quickly determines her new role will require a healthy attitude towards duplicity. But as she hides fog machines in the woods and improvises scares to spook new homeowners, a series of unnerving events on set and a creepy new co-worker force Maura to confront whether the person she's truly been deceiving and hiding from all along is herself. Eerie and empathetic, Haunt Sweet Home is a multifaceted, supernatural exploration of finding your own way into adulthood and into yourself. So, again, this is not a long book. It's not a hard-hitting book. It is very, what I would say, fun. It is self-exploratory. I am not... Honestly, I love spooky ghost shows. I love YouTube shows. I will absolutely 100% watch stuff like Ghost Adventures or any of those shows. Do I believe they're real? Really, no. But do I find them absolutely entertaining? Yes. And so when I saw this book pop up on on my NetGalley, I was like, I need that book. I need to read that book. I need to listen to that book because it's like, like house flippers, or it's like house renovations meets ghost hunters or ghost adventures. And so that's exactly what it is. But instead of being like the Zach Bagans or what have you, it's just the PA, and that's who you follow on the show, because the Zach Bagans of the show is really like her cousin. He's the one who got her the job. And he's like, okay, yeah, we could use another PA because the other one got fired because, like, it doesn't matter, whatever. And he doesn't tell her anything about the job other than, like, a basic pay amount. He's like, yeah, it's, like, X amount, so whatever. And so at first she turns him down. She's like, nah, I'm going back to school. And he's like, okay, yeah, whatever. And so after about a week or so, she decides, she's like, you know what? Yeah, maybe I want to do it. And so she emails him, and the job's already been filled. So a couple months go by, and she emails him again, and what do you know? Somebody just quit, and now she got a job. So she's heading out to middle of nowhere, like Massachusetts or something like that. And the good thing is that her lodging's taken care of, and she's gonna have to drive her own car, but it's not too far from kind of where her family is, which is like Pennsylvania, so they're like 3 hours away. And the set locations are kind of cool because they're houses that are being renovated, sure, but some of them kind of look like castles. Some of them are on like cool orchards. Some of them they all have different spooky vibes for different reasons. Or if they don't have spooky vibes, then the show kind of creates spooky vibes by giving them reasons to be spooky. Now, personally, it seems like they go to a lot of different locations, and like in a month period of time or like a 6-week period of time, it seems like they film at like 6 different locations or 5 different locations. So it seems like they're only at one location for a week and then they move on. So at one location they were like, that supposedly got this really cool, what I would call Beauty and the Beast library. It's like a 2-floor library, and it's open with all like the moving shelves and everything. They're renovating a bathroom, but only the bathroom, even though like a lot of other parts of the house could be done. But the ghost is supposedly haunting, like, of course, the library. And so it's Maura's job to find a spot in the library that nobody would think to look, and she finds this like little niche by the fireplace that she can kind of hole up in the middle of the night and like toss down books and be like super spooky. Well, it's funny because there's another girl that pops up, and her name is Jo, and she popped up, and supposedly she was part of the day crew, and so she's just helping out. Well, things start to kind of snowball really quick with Jo, not in sort of a romantic sense, but in a different sense. And I don't want to give too much away regarding that, but let's just say Jo is not who she kind of portrays herself to be. And she says some things that are a little questionable at times, that I was like, Jo, you shouldn't want to try to be other people. Like, you shouldn't tell Maura that you should just like be her. Like, Maura shouldn't just like move over and let you be her. I'm like, what? That's so not appropriate. Because even though our main character Maura, like, she's really just kind of wandering through life. She's not living life. She's just letting life happen to her. She doesn't really stand up for herself. She doesn't really kind of exert herself in any real way. And a lot of the things she says, you can clearly tell that she's not one to put ripples in water or anything. She's not one to say, no, damn it, notice me, or no, dang it, like, it's my time. Like, she's not one to do that. If somebody doesn't acknowledge her, then she just lets them continue to not acknowledge her. So when Jo comes along, Jo kind of points that out to her. And she's like, yeah, you're barely existing. You're not even good at being you. And it really kind of makes Maura mad, because Maura's like, who are you to tell me that I'm not good at being me? But it's also a sore spot to her as well, because Mora is, there's some points to Mara that are kind of relatable, but also really annoying. Because, like, I think at times I've been like that, where it's like, well, I'd rather not put ripples in the water or what have you. I'd rather just not have to deal with that conflict or what have you. But there's also kind of the point where you have to. And I don't know if maybe it's because Mora is, like, from a big family, so she's used to being overlooked, so she's just used to kind of going under the radar. But I don't think it's really an excuse, because Jo even says, she's like, you're not even close to your cousins. And for me, I did come from a family with a lot of cousins. Now, I have 3 female cousins, but I have like 8 or 9 male cousins. And I would say I'm probably pretty close to like 7 of, like, actually I am close to all 3 of my female cousins, and I'm close to probably about 7 of my male cousins. They're all incredibly great people. The only 2 that I'm probably not is like the oldest and the youngest. And I can still have incredibly pleasant conversations with those 2 as well. I'm like I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm not the oldest or the youngest, but I do wonder if Mora is one of the youngest. Would that be awkward for her? Like, I'm just wondering if the youngest of my family of, let's say, 13 feels awkward trying to talk to, let's say, my oldest cousin, because we are all first cousins on my dad's side. So with that dynamic of being that far apart in age, which would probably be about 30 years age-wise, I mean, it might not be that long. It might be 25. Honestly, I'm terrible with age. I don't remember the age difference between the 2. But I'm just saying, is like, Jo points out that Mora is not close to any of her cousins, and it does beg the question of why is she not close with any of them? Clearly, if Jeremy, the one who helped her get the job, is maybe one of the older ones, okay, fine. Maybe there is an age gap there. But what about the ones that are closer to you? Why are you not closer to any of them? Like, because it sounds like there's family bonfires pretty frequently. Sounds like you were at your grandmother's pretty frequently. It sounds like overall the family is actually pretty close. But it also sounds like she almost purposefully put herself on the outside. And so it does kind of question, why has Mora kept herself on the outside? And it is kind of, when Mora has to think about that, it's kind of a shock to her. It's kind of like, wow, maybe I did do this to myself. Maybe I am the one who put myself on the outside. So it's pretty interesting. I like that Jo came into her life. Now, Jo is a little bit more of a kind of a shock value sort of person, a person who is a little bit more blatantly attention grabbing, and it's very distinctly 180 from Mora. But anyway, if you want to know more about those aspects, you gotta read the book. You gotta find out. Maybe get the audiobook, see what you think about it. I thought it was intriguing. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was funny. I would like you guys to let me know what you think, if it's something that you would read. Honestly, I'm just wondering, because it was a fun read for me. Maybe not funny, but overall, fun read, and I thought it was good. But anyway, I'm glad it was the book that I started spooky season with. And that's my 2 cents. But thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about anything down below. What do you think about watching spooky shows on YouTube and Netflix and all the rest? And I'll see you on the next page. Have a great one. Bye.